Hello and welcome to a very special video edition of Inside Music. Episode 203 features my pal John Notto from the group Dirty Honey, this fantastic rock band whose plans for 2020 were completely tossed aside in the wake of coronavirus. But John's in LA right now and he's doing his best to make do. We're going to talk about what happened to the band's plans, where they go from here, what it was like opening for The Who, how he's responding to the George Floyd protests, and a whole lot more. This was a really fun conversation, and thanks to Zoom, we were able to do it as a video, which you will get to see in just a few moments. But as always, I wanted to let you know that this episode of Inside Music is brought to you by Holix, the music industry's leading promotional distribution company. What that means is that Holix helps record labels, publicists, and independent artists like Dirty Honey promote their music to tastemakers around the world. You can join right now for free by visiting Holix.com. That's Haulix.com. If you've already done that, or if you're not a musician, then all you have to do right now is sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with John. Well, man, how's your day going? Like, what's it like in LA right now, other than just sunny?
Well, I'm in the valley, so it's super hot. It's a little bit unbearable. You know, it's just every day is kind of like Sunday, where if you want to be productive, it's sort of up to you because there's not a lot on the schedule. You know, there's just like a couple random things that generally speaking have to get done, but you know, you got to kind of motivate yourself so that you don't slip into this quarantine slug thing.
Yeah.
You know, last night I did a little I got a couple turntables and a lot of classic rock vinyl, so I did a live thing on my Instagram feed. Had a little bit, maybe a little bit too much tequila. So I moved a little slow this morning. So today's been kind of relaxed, but
That's not bad. That's not bad. Were you spinning any Seeger in the mix?
dude, I totally spun Hollywood Nights.
There you go. Classic.
Yep.
Timeless.
I love that song. It's got it's like I want to be in like a 1977 Corvette.
Yeah.
On Mulholland Drive in like a all white suit that opens in the front. And I want Farrah Fawcett in the passenger seat.
Yeah, his songs have that kind of energy where you listen to it and you're like, I feel like I'm in a movie right now, or I want to be in a movie right now.
There's just he's great. He's kind of unsung now, but he's great.
Yeah, well, it's just because he held out so long to get into streaming, so I think a lot of younger kids maybe didn't get up on him when they adopted streaming so fast, and now he's just kind of like, I'm rich and old and I don't have to do this if I don't want to, so I'm just gonna not.
I think that's what he did, and I read somewhere that he did that all along the way. Like, he basically put his stuff out on vinyl and then was like, if you don't have vinyl, tough shit. But he didn't really jump on tapes. He didn't really jump on CDs. You know, he just was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't matter because he's been on Spotify for maybe 18 months now, and some of his songs have like 90 million plays. So clearly he was right all.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. He's like, listen, I got game, so I don't have to come to you.
He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't like put out new stuff. He stopped touring. He's like, it doesn't matter. I'm a king.
Yeah. It's great. It's just great, good for him. I mean, he missed out on a lot of record sales, but if he was good, then he's good. That's cool. He's not extra greedy, I guess. He doesn't have that extra.
Well, I will say that I'm still on his mailing list, and I get random promotions from it. So he'll be like, recently they did like a Father's Day T-shirt, and I was like, you don't need that money, Bob. I don't know who's running this, but like, you don't need that. Stop it. Well, man, I want to know what it's been like for you. Give me the musician's experience of the last 3 months. I guess it's like this week, it'll be 3 months that we've all kind of been in this new normal for music. So what's it been like for you? Like, what are the highs? Give me the highs and lows. What's been going on?
Wow, first off, it's crazy that it's been 3 months. The low, okay, so I'll give it to you chronologically. I think initially we were bummed just to realize we weren't going to go to Australia to record. But we thought maybe that was all it was going to be. So there was a little bit of excitement when we realized, like, hey, we got more time to polish the tunes. So I think for the first 2 or 3 weeks for me, I just utilized the time. I practiced in different instruments, tried to write more. I know we all did. We got together, even though we weren't supposed to write, you know, and then I think after that, after a month, and after we saw, like, okay, now our spring festivals are canceled. And then it was like, all right, and then it's like the European ones are canceled. I think a depression set in, for sure. There was kind of like this, it dipped down, just realizing, like, we just had such a stellar year lined up to really hit it out of the park. And to watch it go away was just such a bummer. I mean, I guess the plus side is, it's not like it's just happening to us. It's not like our career went down the tubes. The whole world went on pause for a legitimate reason. So it, you know, still seems. And then, you know, after there was you know, it's kind of one of those things where I woke up, was like talking to friends, you know, and being like, they were all like, yeah, dude, those are the classic signs of depression. I was like, I get up, I'm still tired, but I slept 10 hours, you know, things like that. So that, you know, I don't really feel like doing anything. I'm not excited. But I kind of got out of that slump, and, you know, we rented a rehearsal space and we've got reinvigorated. Again, we're working on the album again. We've started Zoom calling with our producer, who's in Australia, trying to figure out how to get him here for when things really open up. Just right now it's just like plan for the record and try to get together and you know, create some content, just to do something that's fun, you know, like we have a series we call Suitcase Sessions, where we just show up to a location, like we shot one so far. We did an acoustic version of a Heartbreaker. And we did it in the mountains up in about 2 or 3 hours north of California. North of Los Angeles. So we're going to do some more of that stuff, you know, just to, I will say this, like, when we rehearse, just playing music is such a release. It's so gratifying. You know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, now we're in this crazy period of social unrest, which is a cause I really believe in. So even though we're supposed to be quarantining, the whole city's protesting, and you know, it's been an interesting, it's just unprecedented times, you know, where we have a pandemic that's lurking, but most people, honestly, and rightfully so, are like, it's more important to get out and get this message out. And you see in this, especially in Los Angeles, the city is really beaming with how the protesters kept going and kept proving that the actual protesters are peaceful, and then all the looting and stuff was just hangers on and people trying to cause trouble and just cash grab while they could, you know. But that it's been pretty amazing to watch, you know. My girlfriend's gone to two protests. She went to the one on Sunday, which was huge. So it's now it doesn't feel as much like quarantine. And some businesses are opening, so feels like there's some semblance of normal coming back in terms of people moving about. But I guess with this, basically we're in a civil rights movement. I mean, you know, this is going to be another chapter in that stuff we learned about in grade school, you know, the 60s, you know. So it's there's a lot to pay attention to right now, I think, and a lot to be alert. So, I'd say I'm not a news person really, but for the first time, it's been more, I want to stay up to date. You know what I mean? like I want to watch the news in the morning, or I want to, catch it wherever I can and pay attention. It actually feels really important.
Absolutely, man. I completely get that. My partner is somebody, she doesn't like to listen to the news or even read it, but for the last week or so, she's been like really engaged. Maybe, but it's like you still got to throttle it because there's just so much evil.
It's so
You fall down the rabbit hole, and it's like it's been an hour, and I just felt bad for an hour.
Totally.
But what has your creativity been like during this time? Like, have you felt motivated at all to write new stuff? Or I know you talked about going to the studio right before all this happened. So what has your creative juices been doing this whole time? Yeah.
During?
During.
Yeah, it's been waves,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been waves of in the beginning, I was just really excited to practice. I like to practice drums and bass and practice recording ideas. So in the first month, there was a lot of that. And we got to a certain point, and we've rehearsed all the ideas. And I think I've hit a little bit of a lull in the last week or two. But I've learned to, like, you got to press on and put work in, but also when I don't know, sometimes you got to let things ebb and flow a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but we've got a second round of songs. We completed a first round that are going to make the record, I think, and then now we've got a second wave that are like at the good starts point. So that's kind of the next thing on the list to check off, is get those to have a complete chorus and something really memorable,
No, absolutely. And I feel like we're like 18 months away, maybe a year from this like avalanche of music, because people either are sitting on a record they want to release, they're about to record an album they had written 6 months ago, or they haven't recorded, but they have, 25 songs that they feel pretty passionate about because they've had nothing to do but work.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And that's got to feel good, because you guys have your EP out. The self-titled EP came out last year, and now you've got, it seems like everything. You have, like, everything is ready to go once you guys can get out there and go again.
Yeah, I mean, the timing of all of this certainly felt awful.
Yeah,
we were just about to really jump from the foul line, so to speak. But at the same time, I'm glad that we got enough work in so that we established ourselves, and fans and media people such as yourself are excited to stay tuned in and find out where we're at and, what we're planning when it comes back. So I feel fortunate in that respect. And, right before we finished our Rolling Sevens tour in February 28th, I think it was about 6 weeks. And it was just an enormous success. We sold out a couple 700 to 800 seat places. And really, we sold out every place we played. And it kind of snowballed as it went. They weren't sold out when we hit the road. And, just people just showed up. There was a buzz. Everything was working for us. And the shows were great. And we had a great opening band. So we were able to get that in. And I think that, we finished playing kind of a legendary club here in LA called the El Rey. We sold that out. So we were able to just achieve a good, solid, incredible 1 year of a lot of work. So
great.
It put us in a good position, I think, all things considered.
I mean, I'm looking forward to what you have coming up. I saw you last year when you opened for The Who here in Grand Rapids on
cool.
The Moving On tour, which was an interesting night to say the least, but your set was great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you what that experience was like for you. I mean, I'm always curious when people get to open for these legendary acts and like what that is and how that feels for somebody. But tell me about that experience as a whole.
As a whole, I think the everything surrounding the performance was a pinch me moment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing the pure size of the production, the team. We'd never played an arena, of course. That was really cool. And then, of course, getting to kind of like sneak in to the arena when they were actually sound checking, and just hearing Pete Townsend just kind of like take a solo over a section of a song, and just hearing his tone, it was like, and hearing Roger warm his voice up, it was just incredible. That stuff was incredible. And we got to meet Roger at the end after our set, or after their set, after the show. He was really nice.
Great.
Yeah, it was incredible. The actual set, I think, was a lot older crowd, and they're all sitting. And also our what we were allotted for the stage was so tiny.
Yeah.
Because of the orchestra factor, and also they were like, we're not moving anything. not even a pedal board. So I was like, oh, so I had a very cramped space where I had to watch myself, because I get excited during the performance, and I had to make sure I didn't step all over Pete Townsend's custom pedal board. It was basically right in the way. So it was a little bit, humbling in that respect, but we won over the audience, and we felt the crowd get into it more and more after each song. So it felt like a win.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a win of a show overall. I always love the stories about getting to play with these legendary musicians. You kind of get that. You run the risk of ruining the veneer of like who that person is. Like I remember talking to the Greta Van Fleet guys. They got to open for Seeger right when they were starting off, and I was like, "What was that like?" And they're like, "Oh, he was so nice. He introduced himself to us." And I was like, "It's so crazy to think that someone like that would come up to you and be like, I'm Bob." So I'm always curious, like when you get to play with these people. I know you guys also opened for Guns N' Roses last year.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is a completely different kind of experience.
Yeah, very, very much different. Yeah.
And then you guys are shaping up for 2020. So like how much, aside from just the producer coming in and you guys working on the new record, how much did you have to cancel or postpone that people didn't even know about yet?
Oh, a lot. Well, we had a big thing lined up in the fall that I don't believe we had officially announced, but that was going to be an incredible run, opening for another artist. That's a big artist. And yeah, that was probably the big one. I think everything else was announced. We had a spring tour that was going to be radio sponsored festivals, and we also had a European run in June, which that was cool. There was some opening for some big acts lined up. We were going to play Download Fest. We were going to play Download Japan. We were gonna play Italy. I mean, it was just gonna be really, really cool. And I think that was announced, so we had to officially unannounce that one. But we had a tour coming in August and September that was gonna be incredible.
So. Well, that's a bummer, man. So let me move on to the next obvious question. Now that things are starting to open back up, and I spoke to an artist yesterday who is actually moving from LA to Texas today because they are like, we can play a gig on Thursday in Texas. I'm curious, like for you guys, what are you talking about? I know you mentioned getting your producer over to actually work on the record. How do you kind of get the band engine going again? Like, what's the first steps to kind of getting back out there as things start to open up for you guys?
Well, I think that it's really the same game plan as before. It's just the trick of the timing. Yeah. So, we're going to make the record. We're going to release a single to radio, and we're going to try to book a tour. It's just a matter of when. Really, it's going to be a matter of, when will we be allowed to book a tour that will actually set, that will people will feel comfortable showing up to. When that's allowed, then you can time everything else kind of with that, because you want to hit the road with a single hitting the radio. You want to have that timed, and you want to have a music video, and you want to have, so that's not my department, of course, but
yeah,
that's it's basically the same. It's just, and we might have released the record a little sooner,
yeah,
but we may sort of fast track it this time. Not the recording or anything. We'll still put a lot of effort there. We might just have to shorten the timetable so that, But again, it just depends on. I think the thing that seems, again, like I don't know if we would or wouldn't do this, but the thing that seems the most depressing would be to not have a tour, and just put an album out. I mean, if the fans would love it, who are already aware, but it's just tough. It's tough promotion time, like nobody's really pushing new songs to radio. It's just,
it's just weird.
Because your bands want to be able to be playing while your song's on the radio. So without that, it just really makes it's more of a gamble.
Well, let me ask you this before I let you go. What is the best way a fan of the band can get out there right now and support you guys? Like if somebody's out there, they're like, I want to do my part. I want to keep your name on everyone's lips. I want to keep your music in their minds. What is the best way fans can support you right now while you're kind of in this weird limbo phase?
Well, our merch store is always open on dirtyhoney.com. And, just stream our music and post about it, check out our YouTube page and stuff. I mean, all that stuff's still going, and actually streaming's still going pretty well. So people are still tuning into the music. Yeah.
I think that's great, man. I mean, those are basic answers, and they're the best way to do it. So what else is there to say? Get out there and follow, engage, and tell people.
Yes. Yeah. Follow, engage, tell people about it, and post about it. And, like I said, we've always done really well with merch, and that's at dirtyhoney.com. And, I wish I could say, I wish I could announce a tour right now, but I can't. So.
All right. Well, we'll all look forward to that information, and hopefully when you guys get on the other side of recording, we can have you back on the show, and we'll have like a lot of things to discuss, because there'll be a lot of things going on again.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely working on the album, and it's coming along really well, and I'm very excited about the new material. So.
Well, great, man. Well, I thank you for taking 20 minutes of your time to have a chat with me today. I was looking forward to this. Your PR reached out. They were like, everyone on our roster has all of the time in the world right now, and you were the one that I wanted to talk to. So I'm glad that we got a few minutes to just talk about life and music.
Yeah, same, James. I appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Right.
Have a great day, man.
You too.
Bye.